made some choices I can't take back. Wrote my story in shades of black. Tried to outrun the guilt and shame, but everywhere I turned it knew my name. But mercy showed up like a long-lost friend when I was sure it was the end. Didn't come with thunder, didn't come with show, just a whisper saying grace won't let go. Grace don't let go when I slip, when I fall, when I'm too weak to stand. It carries it all. When my faith is fragile and my heart's run cold, there's a love that holds tighter than I'll ever know. It's stronger than the lies I've come to believe. Grace don't give up, and grace don't let go of me. I've walked through seasons of silence and doubt, wondered what the fight was even about. But through every failure, through every scar, I found out how near His mercies are. I don't deserve the peace I found, but I know who lifts me when I'm down. When I let go, He pulls me close. That's the heart of a God who loves the most. Grace don't let go when I slip, when I fall, when I'm too weak to stand. It carries it all. When my faith is fragile and my heart's run cold, there's a love that holds tighter than I'll ever know. It's stronger than the lies I've come to believe. Grace don't give up, and grace don't let go of me. Even on the days I'm hanging by a thread, He reminds me of the blood He shed, not for the perfect but the lost and low. He's the God whose grace won't let go. Grace don't let go when I drift, when I stray, when I've gone too far or pushed Him away. When I've got nothing left but a whisper and tears, He holds me close and silences fear. I'm still His child, and now I see grace don't give up, and grace won't let go of me. I was driving down a lonesome road, radio playing an old hymn I know. Sunset burning through my rear view glass, but my heart was stuck in the sins of my past. I'd been running from the man I used to be, chains of shame dragging behind me. But somewhere between milepost and prayer, I felt a holy whisper in the midnight air. There's grace in the rear view, mercy in the wind, love in the silence where the road begins again. Though I lost my way, He never lost me. He was holding on when I let go of me. Now I drive with the cross on my dashboard in view, and grace in the rear view. Mama's Bible in the glove box seat, pages worn down where she prayed for me. I can still hear her voice on Sunday morn, saying, "Child, come home when your heart gets torn." I took a wrong turn down pride and doubt, thought I could fix what only God could work out. But His love lit a light through my darkest night. Now I'm following faith, not just taillights. There's grace in the rear view, mercy in the wind, love in the silence where the road begins again. Though I lost my way, He never lost me. He was holding on when I let go grace in the rear view, mercy in the wind, hope on the highway where the broken mend again. Though I lost my way, he never lost me. He was holding on when I let go of me. Now I drive with peace and the truth that I knew. There's grace in the rear view. Yeah, there's grace in the rear view. There were days I couldn't lift my head, buried in sorrow, drowning in dread, too tired to pray, too lost to try, just sitting in silence, asking God why. I thought I'd reach the end of the line, no more strength, no peace to find. But just when I thought I was all alone, I felt the weight lift. He was carrying me home. He carried me through the storm, through the pain, through every loss, through every chain. When I had nothing, not even a plea, he didn't let go. He carried me, not by my power, not by my might, but by his mercy in the darkest night. Now I'm walking free, and I believe when I couldn't stand, he carried me. I remember the nights I barely breathed, questions and wounds that wouldn't leave. But grace doesn't wait for a perfect song. It shows up steady when the nights are long. And looking back, I see it clear, footprints beside me, always near. Even when my faith was torn and thin, he was strong enough to carry me in. He carried me through the storm, through the pain, through every loss, through every chain. When I had nothing, not even a plea, he didn't let go. He carried me, not by my power, not by my might, but by his mercy in the darkest night. Now I'm walking free, and I believe when I couldn't stand, he carried me. And when I finally reached the shore, I saw the truth I'd missed before. He was there with every tear I cried, the Savior staying right by my side. He carried me through the storm, through the fire, lifted my soul from the deepest mire. When I had nothing, he still believed, held every broken part of me. Now I sing 'cause I've been redeemed. When I couldn't stand, he carried me. I was tired, worn out from the fight, dragging my dreams through the cold of the night. The road behind me was littered with pain. Every step felt like walking through rain. But somewhere between my tears and regret, I heard a voice I'll never forget. He said, "Child, don't you know you're never alone?" And just like that, he walked me home. He walked me home through the shadows and shame, through the fire and the hurt and the weight of my name. I was too weak to stand, too scared to pray, but he stayed right beside me the whole broken way. Now I look back and see, even when I felt alone, he walked me home. I used to think I had to earn his love, climb my way up to the stars above. But mercy don't wait for a polished soul. It meets you in places where the world don't go. With every step, he healed what I'd lost, nailed it all down on that old rugged cross. When I couldn't take one more step on my own, with grace and with truth, he walked me home. He walked me home through the shadows and shame, through the fire and the hurt and the weight of my name. I was too weak to stand, too scared to pray, but he stayed right beside me the whole broken way. Now I look back and see, even when I felt alone, he walked me home. Now I walk with peace where fear used to be, 'cause I know he's walking every mile with me. He walks me home through the trials I face, with hands full of healing and a heart full of grace. No mountain too high, no valley too low. He's the light through the night and the warmth in the cold. From the moment I cried till he called me his own, he walked me home. Yes, he walked me home. It wasn't in a steeple tall or a Sunday morning hymn, not in a Bible on a shelf or a sermon shouted in. It was in a quiet hospital room when no one said a thing. In the middle of the heartache, that's where I felt him. I found Jesus there, in the waiting, in the pain, in the tear that fell in silence, in the pouring rain. Not in glory, not in gold, but in my lowest prayer, he wasn't far away. I found Jesus there. I saw him in my mama's eyes the day she said goodbye. Felt him in the crackling fire when I had no tears left to cry. He showed up in the broken things I tried to throw away, and somehow made a miracle from a soul that lost its way. I found Jesus there, in the heartbreak, in the dust. When the world gave up on me, he still believed in us. In the wreckage of my failure, in my worn-out prayer, I wasn't searching, but I found Jesus there. He's not just in the mountaintop or bright cathedral lights. He walks the roads of sorrow and sits with us at night. I found Jesus there in the silence and the ache. When I thought I was forsaken, He was wide awake. He was holding every moment. I thought no one would care when all felt lost. I found Jesus there. I prayed a prayer with all my heart, thought for sure it wouldn't be long. But days turned into silent years, and faith was tested by my tears. I watched the door stay closed again, felt the ache that never ends. But somehow through the still and slow, His voice would whisper soft and low. I'm in the waiting, I'm in the storm. I'm right beside you when your hope feels worn. Every tear that falls I see, every silent cry, it reaches me. You're not forgotten, you're not alone. I'm working things you've never known. Hold on, child, keep on praying. I'm right there in the waiting. I've learned that blessings sometimes hide in places patience sanctified, and miracles don't always shine. They grow like seeds in God's good time. And though the world may rush ahead, I'm learning to trust what Jesus said. My time is perfect, my plan is true, and I've never once let go of you. He's in the waiting, He's in the storm. He's right beside me when my faith feels torn. Every silent night He stays, in every shadow He makes a way. I'm not forgotten, I'm not alone. He's working things I've never known. I'll keep walking, I'll keep praying, 'cause He is good in the waiting. So if you're weary, if you're scared, lift your eyes, He's always there. Even when there's no sign or sound, His love is all around. He's in the waiting, He's in your pain, He's in the questions you can't explain. He's holding tomorrow, He's holding you, and every word He promised is true. You're not forgotten, you're not alone. He's walking with you step by step, stone by stone. So don't stop hoping, don't stop praying. He's right there in the waiting. walked through deserts with a heavy soul, felt the cold wind where no fire could glow. I've cried in silence when no one could see, and wondered if even God remembered me. I've slammed some doors and turned my back, wore guilt like chains I couldn't unpack. But every time I ran too far to pray, I turned around and He was there anyway. He's the God who stays when the world walks out, when faith runs dry and I'm filled with doubt, when I've burned every bridge and broke every vow. He still finds me somehow. Through every storm, through all my mistakes, He's the God who loves, the God who stays. He never said that the road would be smooth, but He promised He'd walk me through every wound. I felt His peace in the middle of pain, like a soft rain falling on a window pane. He's seen my worst and loved me still, carved out a purpose from my shattered will. And every time I thought hope was gone, He reminded me where I belong. He's the God who stays when the world walks out, when faith runs dry and I'm filled with doubt, when I've burned every bridge and broke every vow. He still finds me somehow. Through every storm, through all my mistakes, He's the God who loves, the God who stays. No matter how far I drift away, He's just one whispered prayer away. Not 'cause I'm good, but 'cause He is. His mercy runs deeper than my sin ever did. He's the God who stays when I walk astray, when I've lost my song and don't know what to say. He lifts me up and He won't let go, even when I've got nothing to show. He writes His love on all my yesterdays. He's the God who stays. Yes, He's the God who stays. You've been walking through the valley far too long, feeling like your strength is almost gone. Tears falling like the rain won't end, and you don't know if your heart will ever mend. But let me tell you what I've come to know. Even in the night, there's a glow. There's still a light, even when it's hard to see, shining through the hurt,
steady as can be. When your faith runs dry and your hands hang low, there's a grace that won't let go. He's in the dark, He's in your fight. Hold on, child, there's still a light. I've been where the shadows never seem to break, where every breath feels like a heavy weight. But even then I heard a voice so still, saying I'm right here and I always will. You may feel forgotten, but you're not alone. The same light that led me will lead you home. There's still a light, even when you're feeling lost. Stronger than the storm, brighter than the cost. When the road gets rough and the night feels long, the light will guide you, keep you strong. Don't give up, not tonight. There's still a light. It's in the kindness of a stranger's smile, in the word that carries you another mile, in the silence when you think He's gone. That's where His love shines on. There's still a light, and it's never burned out. It cuts through fear, it casts out doubt. When your strength is gone and your hope is tied, just lift your eyes. There's still a light.
I was knee-deep in sorrow, drowning in sin. It felt like the end was about to begin. The storms all around me, no shelter in sight. Trying to hold on in the cold, dark night. I whispered a prayer through the tears on my face, and not sure if heaven would hear me that day. But just when I thought that my hope was gone, I felt His arms wrap around me strong. When I couldn't find my way, He came running to me with a light in His hands and love that set me free. When I'd fallen too far and had nothing to say, He spoke through the silence and showed me the way. I was lost, I was low, but He still called my name. When I couldn't find my way, I'd wandered through valleys, tried every road, carrying burdens too heavy to hold. But grace didn't wait for me to get clean. It met me right there in the
I'd been in. And now every step I take is with Him. Through every trial and every win, even when I stumble, I don't fall alone, 'cause I know who's leading me home. When I couldn't find my way, He came running to me with a light in His hands and love that set me free. When I'd fallen too far and had nothing to say, He spoke through the silence and showed me the way. I was lost, I was low, but He still called my name. When I couldn't find my way, He's the shepherd for the broken, the healer for the lame. He don't need perfection, just a heart to call His name. When I couldn't find my way, He came running to me with a cross on His back and my soul in His reach. Now I walk in the light of the price that He paid. When I couldn't find my way, He showed me grace.
I was sitting on a bar stool, 3 drinks deep, trying to drown what I couldn't defeat. My life was a mess I didn't want to face, so I ran from the hurt and I ran from grace. But somewhere in that neon light, I heard a whisper cut through the night. Not from a preacher, not from a song, but from the Lord I'd been running from all along. That's where mercy found me, down on the floor, with nothing but broken behind every door. When I gave up fighting, He gave me peace, washed me in love and set me free. It wasn't in church with a choir and key, it was right there in the dirt where mercy found me. I ain't proud of the man I was, chasing the world and calling it love. But Jesus didn't wait for me to come clean, He came to the pit and covered everything. Now I wear these scars like a melody, they tell the truth of how He rescued me. I still stumble, but I don't fall, 'cause His grace is deeper than my darkest part. That's where mercy found me, down on the floor, with nothing but broken behind every door. When I gave up fighting, He gave me peace, washed me in love and set me free. It wasn't in church with a choir and key, it was right there in the dirt where mercy found me. You don't have to clean up to come to the cross. He's already paid for what you thought was lost. He'll meet you there wherever you are. That's just how good His mercies are. Yeah, mercy found me, not when I was strong, but when I was sure I didn't belong. He opened His arms